I didn't say anything when the HOA president called me a trespasser. I just placed a thin folder on the table and waited. Inside was a certified land survey, 3 years of letters, and one court order with a blue seal that made their lawyer's face turn paper white. Read paragraph 4. I said quietly, "It's about jurisdiction." That was the moment everything flipped. When I bought this place, all I wanted was peace. I'd worked 20 years in construction design, city noise, traffic, endless schedules. I wanted to retire somewhere green, quiet, maybe fix up a little workshop and live slow. The house I found sat on 2 acres at the edge of a pine preserve, a short gravel road, and a creek running behind it. There was an old wooden bridge back there, crooked, half-rotted, but beautiful. I planned to restore it someday. The realtor mentioned an HOA, but brushed it off. "They just handle lawn care and signage," she said. "You'll hardly notice them." 6 weeks later, I noticed them. I came home one afternoon to find a neon orange violation taped to my garage door. Unauthorized exterior modification. The problem: I'd repainted my shutters the same dark blue they'd already been. I called their office, expecting a simple fix. The woman on the phone, Brenda, sounded like she'd swallowed a rulebook. "Once a violation is issued, it must go before the board," she said. "Next meeting. 3 months away." Fine, I thought. Bureaucracy. I could wait. A month later, another notice came, this time for my gravel driveway. "Non-compliant material," it said. $200 fine. That gravel had been there since the 70s. I laughed, then realized they weren't joking. When I didn't pay, the letters kept coming longer, angrier. One morning I walked out back and found a padlock on my small gate that led to the bridge. A plastic sign read, "HOA access restricted." Unsafe area. That was my land. The entire bridge and creek sat inside my property line. I called the president, Cardinal Fleming, retired dentist. White hair, pastel sweaters, the type who smiles while correcting people. "Carol, someone put a lock on my bridge," I said. "Oh, Daniel," she said in that syrupy tone. "That bridge crosses community property. We can't have people using it until it's approved." "It's on my deed," I replied. "Well," she said cheerfully, "the board disagrees." That line stuck with me. The board disagrees. As if their opinion changed land law. I tried being reasonable. I attended their next meeting, brought maps, copies of my deed, even a county plat. Carol listened, nodded, and said they'd review it internally. 2 days later, I got 3 new violations. One for a motion light, one for my shed color, and one for having unapproved vegetation. That's when I stopped talking. I started documenting every letter, every photo, every conversation, all dated, scanned, filed. I read their entire charter, their bylaws, and state HOA law. I found that their community boundary, officially filed with the county, ended 49 feet before my creek. Everything past that, including the bridge, wasn't theirs at all. But I didn't rush. I wanted them confident, so when they find me again, I just smiled and added it to the pile. At night, I dug deeper. I found an old infrastructure report from 1972 describing my bridge as a federal soil study access. That meant a dormant government easement still existed, protecting it from any private restriction. When I confirmed it with the county, Yvan Leclerc chuckled. "They can't touch that," he said. I also installed a small trail camera facing the bridge. Within a week, it caught their compliance officer stepping onto my property, tape measure in hand, trespassing, clear as day. By the time their fines reached $4,000 and they threatened a lien, I had a binder thick enough to break a wrist. My lawyer, an older guy named Avery, flipped through it and smiled. "They're finished," he said. "We filed for an injunction to bar the HOA from interfering with my property. When the county zoning officer reviewed my evidence, he issued a letter confirming the HOA had no jurisdiction past Lot 26, my lot. So I waited for their next meeting. When I walked in, the room went quiet. Carol sat at the head of the table, surrounded by her loyal board. She smiled like she was about to lecture a child. I didn't sit. I laid the folder down. You've issued 32 violations against property you don't control, I said. Here's the deed, the zoning map, and a court order confirming it. Carol's smile twitched. The lawyer beside her opened the folder, saw the judge's signature, and slowly pushed it toward her. What is this she stammered. Proof, I said. Silence. Then a quiet cough from the back. Someone whispered, "Does that include the park trail?" It did, the walking trail they'd built, partly, on my easement. They'd spent HOA funds on land they didn't own. By the next week, the county froze their operations. The insurance company pulled coverage. Within a month, the entire board resigned for restructuring. Carol put her house up for sale. I never celebrated. I didn't post anything online. I just unlocked the gate, oiled the bridge hinges, and went back to sanding wood in my workshop. I built a small sign for the bridge pre-bat access, authorized use only. Now, mornings are quiet again. The creek runs smooth under the bridge, the pines sway, and the air smells like what peace should smell like earned. Neighbors still whisper, "Some wave, some look away," but no one from the HOA has stepped onto my land since. And whenever I pass the old community board, the one they used to tape my violations to, I can't help but smile, because now they finally know I'm the wrong one to mess with.